waiting for someone to release me. Licking your lips and blowing kisses my way, but that don't mean...
Hi, I'm Darren Charles, and welcome to the Rat Pack Burlesque Talk Show. This week we will be talking with the Vegas superstar herself, Miss Angie Sylvia, all about hands, nails, and manicures. Hey, Angie.
Hi, Darren.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I think I did it again. I made you ballet.
Well, I was studying dance in New York City at the time when I met my fiance, who is born and raised in London, and that's how I came over to the UK. And one of my first jobs as a dancer was in various cabaret clubs, and that's how I got introduced to this whole amazing world of burlesque and variety, and was just blown away and was, yeah, I want to do this. And I met a performer called Laurie Hagan, who's also a very good friend of mine. She introduced me to the Folly Mixtures, and they happened to be auditioning at the time, and I got the job. So that's how I got started.
My problem is this: I'm dreaming away, wishing that you must digitally exist. I cry watching the days. Did you see I'm a fool in so many ways?
My favorite thing about burlesque is the self-expression to do whatever you want, and you're fully in charge of everything in creating your own act. So the costume, the choreography, the music, the way you want to present yourself, your image. And with burlesque, it's so amazing because you can choose to pretty much go down to pasties and a thong, or you can do an act of just the glove removal, and it could be as interesting and amazing and sexy at the same time. So my dance background is voguing, so the hands play a very important part in my performances when I do burlesque, because it involves a lot of posing, showing off, and that's why it's very important to have good nails, because imagine if you're doing a glove removal and your nails are not on point, not cute. So that's why I'm gonna now show you how to do a manicure.
Because you know I'm all about that bass and no trouble.
So the very first step when you perform a manicure on someone else is to sanitize the client's hands. I use a cleansing spray. So what I do is I ask the client to face palms up, spray, and then rub their hands together, and you're ready to go. And then the second step would be your cuticles. So the cuticles is the skin that grows down on your nail and blocks your nail bed and makes it messy to paint if you don't cut them and, you know, remove them. So I use cuticle away, which softens them, and then I put that on the cuticles, and then I do the rest of the prep, which is what I'm going to talk you through, and let it soak in so they're nice and easy to push back and then ready to nip. So the next step in the manicure is going to be the cutting of the nails. I use a nail clipper, and then the filing and shaping. So with the shape, you can have, there's lots of different variations. You can choose a square, you can choose a squoval, which is what Kendra is going to have, which is a square with softened corners. And then you can have round, like smiley face round, or you can have oval, which is slightly more narrowed, and then you can have the almond, which is like a little bit more pointier than an oval shape, and then you can go crazy with the stiletto, which is just sharp. So yeah, so now we've finished with the filing, and now the cuticles are all softened up and ready to be pushed back. With that, I use a cuticle pusher. So you push back the cuticles because it frees up your nail bed area and makes the color look more neater, and there's more space to paint as well. Okay, so we've finished pushing back the cuticles. So the next step is to buff your nails. This is a tiny little buffer, and you can get them in like big packs on Amazon. So basically you buff the nail area after you push back the cuticles, just to clean the nail surface of any ridges, to make the polish look more even, and also to open up the nail fibers, literally open them up. So when you paint, it sits better and the polish lasts longer. So the last step of the prep before we're gonna cleanse and paint is to cut away the last bit of cuticles with this cuticle nipper. That basically everything that you couldn't remove with the buffer, and when you push back, you nip it away. So then it's all clean and ready to paint. And a little tip before you paint is also to give yourself a nice little lotion just to hydrate your hands, and that will make the manicure look more perfect and complete in the end. And before we put the color on, we're gonna cleanse the nail bed and just get rid of the oily lotion that we just put on, and also any dust after the buffing and the filing and the cutting. So with that, I use the cleansing spray again, and also a lint-free wipe. And you don't want to use cotton or anything because it will get all fluffy, and that will then get in the color when you paint. You can also use just normal kitchen towel tissue as well. That works perfectly too. And now on to the best part, is the painting. I personally love to use the C&D Vinylux because it's very quick drying, and the base coat is included in the color, which means you save an extra layer in the drying time, because we all know we don't like to sit and wait, you know, for color to dry. And I chose the color called Hollywood because I think it really fits the Rat Pack theme, you know, on Kendra today. And when you paint, a little tip is that when you open up to get the perfect amount on the brush, is that you go halfway facing down, and then you scrape all the way with that side, so it leaves you a little drip at the very end. And then when you place it on the nail, don't place it all the way up where the cuticle is, because then you'll smudge and get the skin area. You want to place it slightly under the very edge of the cuticles, and then push the color up to where it needs to be, and then drag it down. And try to stick to middle, right, left, and then do a little touch up and seal the end. And once we've finished with the painting, and we're gonna move on to the top coat, which is the last part of the painting process. This is the same brand called C&D Vinylux. And with the top coat, I prefer to apply it a little bit thicker than what you would do with the color, because you don't want to risk scraping off the paint that you've just spent all that time applying. So if you apply it a little bit thicker, it won't smudge as easily and drag the paint away. And if you don't use top coat, the manicure won't last as long because it doesn't have any protection over the color. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching today, and a special thank you to my friend Kendra for having her nails done with me. If you'd like to see more about me, you can check out my socials, Facebook and Instagram, Angie Sylvia, and my website, angiesylvia.uk. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this episode and you would love to see more, please comment, like, subscribe, or you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or on our website, theratpackburlesqueshow.com, where you can find out more about our team and book tickets for our latest shows.